There are some who think that saying a thing is the best ever is cliche. But I find that people who say that are simply responding to the fact that they're older and have heard it over and over again. I'm not going to fall into that trap. Spectre is the best James Bond movie I've ever seen. For several reasons. First of all, it's better than Skyfall because it's not too tight. Skyfall had 3 distinct parts between its acts 1, 2, and 3. And those parts quite literally came very quickly, and when you watch the movie again, it goes quickly, and it leaves you wanting more than it gave you. That's not true for Spectre. And the difference there is that the specific scenes and segments are played out more. More time is given to the expression of nuance. More time is given to dialogue. It's really enjoyable to watch. But on top of all that, it's still very much a Bond film. Arguably more Bond than Skyfall was. It goes back to having the car that everyone wants, that has the gadgets, and that at the end of the day is crashed by James Bond. It has not just the older Bond woman, but in Léa Seydoux, the eventual final Bond woman in the context of this movie. You have to see what I'm talking about to understand what I mean. And it has a very truly nasty villain. Franz Oberhauser really isn't Oberhauser. It really is Ernesto Blofeld, excuse me. And I was right all along about Blofeld being in it. I was wrong about Mr. Hinks being Blofeld. Mr. Hinks is excellently played by Dave Bautista. Boy, what a nasty and menacing and imposing and intimidating and powerful dude he comes across to be on screen. Phew! I mean, just a pure bulldozer. An absolute bulldozer. And it takes Bond and Dr. Madeline Swan together to essentially defeat him. You have to see what I'm talking about to understand it. The only part I didn't quite cotton to was when it's a lab scene, you'll have to see it. But I didn't dislike the scene entirely. There are certain aspects of it I could have done without. But that didn't, by any means, take away from how I feel about the film. It really is an obvious final work which gives credence to Daniel Craig's comments that his Bond bank is empty. He and director Sam Mendes really did pour everything into this movie. They really did. I give them a bravo job, along with the writers, for the Bond series that goes back to Casino Royale, and where Spectre really tightens up the story and wraps it in a nice bow for completion. It feels like James Bond is over. But then the end credits say James Bond will return. I certainly hope so.